Love it. It's what I want to see right there. Some good outfits. Anyone else got a good outfit on they need to share? Sindhu, you got anything going on over there? Liam? Julian's back to wearing green again, Coach John.
Calvin, you're going to give me nightmares.
Yeah, that's it's not what I expected, but you know what? We're gonna take it. I like it. All right, today we are going over USA versus Italy, 2019 FIVB World Cup. This match is being played in Japan. Go ahead and share the screen for you. If at any point I get kicked off, I will, as quickly as possible, come back on, just because I am in my garage now and my internet is a little bit shoddy down here. So stay patient with me if I do get kicked off. Coach John will entertain you. He'll break out a ukulele and he'll serenade everybody. Things we're going to start. We're going to start in set one for this match. This is a match that USA goes on to win, but they get kind of in a tough bind in the first set, and you'll see once we get started here. But the things I want you guys to look at, obviously, besides just like we normally do, looking at your position, looking at the different things that they do as a team, there's a lot of good stuff that I like from this particular angle that you guys you'll get a chance to kind of play around with. It's just looking at the serve coming across. It's a little bit higher up. It kind of gives you a good vantage point to see the movement and what guys are creating on their serves. So make sure to keep a look for that and kind of look at the things that they attack once they get back to the service line. But let's go ahead and kick it off. 0-0. Nice dig. Here's a good transition. We're going to rewatch that play real quick after this. Nice kill for Italy. Okay, so let's watch this. Middle blockers, number 17 here. So he gets back to his middle bunch read, number 19, respecting Matt Anderson on the D ball as well. From this position for middles, you kind of see he took his load step out, getting ready to go towards the left side attack. Ball gets set overhead. So now he's kind of in recovery mode. So middle blockers, when this position happens, obviously, number one, he doesn't give up. But number two, once he gets into recovery mode, he's not really going for a terminal block here. Try and watch his hands and how he angles them. Right, so shuffle step, shuffle step, shuffle step. And right before contact's made by Matt Anderson, you're going to see his wrists pretty much go from straight across to almost turning into an angle, trying to cause a deflection like a dig. So he's basically turned into a digger at the net here, just trying to slow the ball down. And it's exactly what he does. He gets a nice, super nice, soft touch that turns into essentially a free ball for the libero. And it turns into a kill, right? So going from that, knowing when you're trying to get a terminal block to just trying to slow the ball down at the net is a big thing that you're going to see at the highest level. And a really good execution there by Italy. This match had a lot of scrappy defensive plays actually to get it going. Not something that we normally see for men's volleyball, but this is a great rally example of finding ways to keep the ball alive. Nice out of system, take out the setter play right there by Magatatia. Swats back the tip. Another swat of a tip. One more tip, why not? Survive. Ball gets hit out of bounds. So good examples there. Just a couple of IQ plays, right? Magatatia in that trouble situation. If we go back to this play real quick, when the ball gets dug from so far back and it turns into this trouble play you get the misconnect set here, kind of a free ball back. Watch the setting job that Aaron Russell does. So he is at the end line, bump setting, can't see the net. And he's just trying to roll a tight ball somewhere up where we can better this play and try and get a swing. And a nice heads up play by Magatatia here. Just, he's got a free net, doesn't go full speed, takes a little bit off, and just chops this ball so that the setter has to take it. Gives them a better chance. Right now, the middle blocker setting, you've removed one attacking option. And then we get back into that rally. Long rally followed by miss serve. Nice coverage. Another long distance set, high off the hands. Okay. Thing that I noted on this one, when we get into this, so Shoji runs this ball down, another trouble set, all right, setting from one sideline to the other here. Watch the eye work that number 2 does. If you're watching Italy's number 2 on the right side, this is a great example for right side blockers of just, you can't just set up your block at a spot, right? You can't just go to the antenna, put your right shoulder on the antenna and jump there. You got to read the set. And so you got to spend more time as a blocker going through your eye work progression, seeing the scenario, right? Setter setting from the 10-foot line, Matt Anderson, not a hitting threat here. So it's going to be something to his pin. And he reads this inside set. He stops up short, and his middle blocker feels that as well. Get a good solid triple block up, just a nice high swing by Aaron Russell there. But a good setup for the block that I see a lot of our guys in those long distance scenarios not spending enough time reading where the set's actually going to be contacted at. So thinking about those types of plays more as a blocker. Net called on USA. Nice little fadeaway swing here. You can watch on David Smith. So middle blocker for USA is going to get this set. Watch his approach middles as he comes in. Looks like he's kind of going at an angle towards the setter. Could kind of be what would be considered like a reverse push, but he's actually going to do a little bit of a jump back here. So he sets up his opponent 15 with his approach. So his angle of approach is coming hard towards the setter. And then at the last second here, just creates a little bit of space by popping back. And you can see 15 took the bait, jumps towards his angle of approach, and now is having to reach back towards where he's jumping to, which opens up that seam. So kind of what we talked about last week with using your angle of approach to set up the blocker, set up openings for yourself. Nice up by Shoji, just reads the open net against the setter here and just takes away what was an easy kill. That's why he's one of the best in the world. Nice IQ. All right, so Micah Christensen just rips a jump serve ace. Now watch where he follows it. I'm going to show you this is a good angle for it, right? So watching Micah serve, gets it trailing away from the passer into the seam between two players. Now let's see how he follows it up. Whew. Here's that hybrid float. So he shows the jump serve toss and just a dirty float. You can pretty much see the Mikasa logo from here. Gets the setter to have to do a bump set. Now they're in transition offense. And Italy into the net. So a nice kind of change of pace, just showing different looks, keeping guys on their toes as much as they can from the service line. Goes for a different angle even there, going for that one sideline. Big block for Italy. I noted on this pass and play, David Smith, the middle blocker for USA, just his eye work and footwork here, right? So watching that float serve go down the line, opens up to the passer, does a full spin. He's keeping his eye on the apex of the ball. Tough pass, but still finds a way to, before the setter has contacted, gets himself an angle between the setter, himself, and the net. Right, so he's able to attack the gap between 12 and 17 if the ball's thrown in here by Micah. Ball goes out, but a nice little example of just how quick and efficient you have to be with your movement, especially on those zero tempo plays as middle blockers. Italy goes on a little bit of a run here. Pushed 2 points already. Gets another for 3. Finally get a set out. Nice swing there. Showing the range. Can't defend everything. Love the defense here from Italy's libero. We'll go back to that. Gets the swing kill. So just watching his defensive movement here, right? So he's in, Italy likes to set up in this deep base position, not your typical like 5 feet off the 10-foot line, 5 feet off the sideline. They more set themselves up into the gaps between their blockers at about 20 feet. So really challenging guys. If you're going to get a kill, you need to bounce it in front of them. And if you do, hats off. From here, as he reads this ball back, look how quick he's chopping his feet to get into a position where he's off of the shoulder of his blocker, right? He's low, he's ready, he's got his way forward, chest is facing towards the hitter here, finds a way just to keep the ball alive, right? Just getting hit, keeping it up, gets a little overzealous trying to steal a ball from the setter there, but makes it work. And he does a lot of those moves throughout this. So Libero is a good example of a guy to watch in terms of his footwork.
Hey, Matt, in that previous play, I really like how Micah Christensen got all the way around that ball and looked like he was going to set outside, and then he went reverse flow.
Let's see here. This one?
Yeah, all the way out there, and he looks like it's really awesome footwork.
Good example. At the 10-foot, getting all the way around, staying squared up. Yeah. Right sides, we'll watch this one again. This is a good example of a dive block move. Just sets up on that line and then throws those hands back hard into the seam, into the angle, taking away. So showing and then taking, right? Showing that you're on the line, and then that seam's available, and then just diving back in to take it away. Italy doing a good job of kind of finding ways to push a point or two here and there. Good aggressive swing. USA not truly able to get a lot going right now. They've had one run of more than a point. That was kind of the theme for set one. Yeah. Middle struggling. Good example as well of this Italy-based defense, right? So they're all pretty deep at about 20 feet. The big set goes, and look at what they do. Wing defenders collapse into the seams, right? So if you think about area 1, 6, and 5, they collapse into the seams between themselves. So they're basically challenging the big attack hitters to say, if you're going to get a kill, you need to paste it on the sideline. We're going to try and fill the gaps in the middle of the court and get a touch, which is what they do there. So just a little show of little intricacies of what they're doing defensively to set themselves up. Finding lots of touches on the ball, giving themselves another chance, right? When you're a serving team, you're looking for any type of offensive swing chance you can get. That's a win if you can get one. Yeah. Patient swing there from middles. That's a good one for you guys to read as well. Coming all the way across in rotation too. Big block move by Holt here. Nice read into that hard cross. Middle sees it. He's jumping very high, and he just gets that little throw down into the 1-2 seam. A patient swing there. Guys that are a little bit more antsy are going to try and rip that ball into where Max Holt made the block move. So the ability to kind of show a second look when you get your first option taken away. Nice little out of system tip. Good. Some good touches defensively here by both sides. Finding opportunities. One forced error. We are going to fast forward ahead a little bit here. I want to get towards, this point. So 2019, you got Michael Saeta just came in for a serving sub. He misses 21-19. Get a good dig here from Italy. Nice defensive move again by 11, finding a way to just get hit by the ball. And we get some trouble. And so this is the play, right? So they call USA thinks he's going to call a double. He calls a lift. It was a questionable call. And basically what happens from here is Italy scores that point and they go on to score the remainder, right? And so it's the game ends at 25-19. So that's the score. So we're gonna pause there. We'll go to the start of second set. So I'm gonna hold on, stop share, throw on your video if you're here. You can join me. All right, so USA, tough set, some good moments, some bad moments, right? Some real struggles there. What were the things that you guys noticed? What would you be talking about in between set 1 and 2? Mind you, yes, you already know USA goes on to win the next 3 sets and wins the match. But what's the conversation? What do you think that you would be talking to your teammates or a coach should be talking about after that first one? Feel free to unmute yourself and talk, or I can call on people if need be. Go ahead, Noah. Are you raising your hand, Noah? Noah, no. Okay. Shit, get his head. Neil, you're looking good. You got puka shells on. What are you gonna say?
I would try to figure out like where we went wrong, like where were our like glaring errors, but also like what worked for us, like what was working for them, where can we stop them, like or what like how can we most effectively stop them.
Great. You watched the film. What's the answer? What would you say?
For me, I mean, I would try to catch them more out of system. So like, cause like they are bunching in on the seams, like in the back row. So like, just try to be like more aggressive to the sidelines on third contact, or even like Christensen hasn't gone for a dump yet. So just like try to mix up like the plays, however they can, like run some back ones with the middle.
Okay. Gotcha. Let's go to, let's see here. Aaron, what would you say? What did you see?
Maybe, I mean, they did well. Like Italy, you saw when they were like backing up to get in between, like covering where the blockers aren't getting. So maybe playing around that, and how can they get those wide open spots that the blockers are still getting the hands up for, but like there's no really easy defense.
Yeah. Okay.
For them.
That's good. I like that. What would you guys say? Going off of what Neil said of, when you're talking about in-game conversation, what worked well, what didn't work well. Let's start with what didn't work well. What was a struggle for USA in terms of efficiency there? Luke McFall, I'll go to you.
It seemed like for USA, it seemed like they were having a really tough time making like scramble plays, I guess. Like they were having a tough time with particularly the Aaron Russell. He kept getting blocked when they were making scramble plays. That like right side was all over him pretty much.
Okay. All right. So finding a little bit more opportunity in those scramble plays to stay aggressive and just find ways to convert those. Yeah. Okay. Those are always obviously going to be tough ones. Anyone else got anything of what didn't work well? Halo's got an eye scratch.
I wasn't paying attention too much to the first ball contact, Matt, but how was their passing overall?
I would, and you guys can all have your own opinion as well. I thought it was probably about maybe a little bit below par of what they normally do, maybe a little bit more out of system, but still plenty of opportunities to run a full offense. The only other thing that I'd throw in, I'll let you guys off the hook of this one before we move to the things they did well. I thought the middles struggled in this, the connection with the middles. There were a couple transition plays where they got soft blocked or outright just blocked, that they weren't really able to control the middle of the court. Wasn't much of a big threat, right? Coming from behind the pipe or coming from behind the ones and the threes. So that would be kind of the glaring thing that if as a coach that watching that first set, I would say, here's what I think we need to try and get a little bit more going on. What about what you guys think they did well? What do you guys think they did pretty well? Toby, what do you think they did well?
I thought they mixed up the sets a lot very well. So they set the 4 and then sometimes they reversed it, set the middles a bit quite frequently, and they just switched it up a couple of times in the caught. They seem like
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think they did. I think there was definitely a lot of variety in the offense for sure. I wouldn't say they went to any one thing. I wouldn't say everything was perfect, but I think you can kind of tell Micah was trying to find somebody, right? He was trying to find somebody who could get something going, and was going through a couple different looks for people. Totally agree with that. Anything else? Anything else you guys thought they did pretty well?
Yeah, I thought they got Italy out of system a lot. Like there was a play with 3 tips, like that this shouldn't happen in international volleyball, I feel like.
Yeah, they were. I think USA scrapped pretty well in that set. For sure, they were finding dig opportunities. There was a lot of defense. There was plenty of out of system swing opportunities they got in transition that didn't go their way. But that being said, as a coach, when you look at that, I think, the chances were there, right? And they're going to continue to be there. What can we do to capitalize on it next time? And the only other one that I put down on my notes for this one was just, the things that you got to control, the things that you can control, right? At the end, the wheels kind of came off the bus after the tough call. And how can you react to that, right? You're going to see right away in the second set how they react. And so we'll go to the screen share, and you'll see pretty quickly the conversations, we'll call it conversations, that the USA players start to have with referees. I'm not telling you guys to communicate to referees like they do, because they are professionals, and we are not. So, all right, we'll get back into this. We'll watch the first couple points, and then we'll head to the end of this set to finish out. Okay, there you go. So USA's first serve receive opportunity, ran the middle, trying to get them going a little bit more. Definitely a big part of their offense is Holt and Smith being able to control there. USA called in the net. This match, Matt Anderson did a lot more passing. Nice block move by 17. We'll go back to. Nice drift move here. Big closing. Nice square, hands back towards area 6. Gets a big block. Another 4-man serve receive. Another swing to the middle. There's your boy Micah yelling at your referee. He wants a double here off of this play. Bounces the overpass and immediately yells at the ref. It's quite the move. But maybe that's what they need, fire themselves up. Holt goes back, gets the ace, keeping that service pressure up. Still pulling Anderson out in the float serves. All right, so you got to see right off the bat, right? What does it look like for USA in terms of what they're trying to get going? They went twice to Holt, right away went to Smith. Trying to get back to what they do. And USA is definitely a control the center of the court team. Great serve. This is another good one, right? So I love this angle for us. Just deep into the seams, forcing passers to get outside of their body frame and make a move for a hard driven ball. And again.
Look where they're landing, Matt, when they're serving.
Yeah. Yep, that's another good look at. There's your interesting free ball situation that we'll go back to as well. I like this rally, so we're going to come back to this one. Nice designed speed play. All right, so here we're going to go this rally again. So first thing, Coach John noted, watch where Aaron Russell lands on a serve. Pretty far in there. Rips that ball into area 1. Okay, now watch Micah's free ball. Just sky ball set, right? And in your head, you can try and think of the answer of why you think he does that. We'll talk about it at the end. Nice touch by Smith. Get something in transition. Good long rally here. Trouble play. And here's the design play by USA, right? In transition, they get a to the net. Middle for us is going to be a tough one to set, but they've got both pins. For Magatia, it's just going to be a super quick, almost like a 3, designed for a throwdown, trying to beat the Italy middle blocker across. All right, unmute yourself if you think you know why Micah shot a moon ball to the ceiling there on that free ball play.
It was a scramble play for USA, so he was just trying to give them some time to reset.
To give who time?
USA.
So their defense, right? That's a yes. Yeah, so just giving themselves time, right? And instead of trying to be cute and shoot a ball across, he's got one guy that's sprawled out across the floor. He just goes, send it to the ceiling, give us an extra, second and a half to set up. But also the other part that has been talked about this at high level volleyball is it changes the look for the other team, right? You're used to getting that free ball at a, just kind of a standard bump it across the net, and then you're in rhythm and you're going. The more you have to wait for it, it's almost psychological, just kind of, it messes with your rhythm. And that's something that you see when the middle kind of misconnects there and David Smith's able to get a soft touch on it. Swing there. Nice play. All right, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. We're going to get into the part where USA kind of makes a little bit of a push and does some nice things. Great set here by Micah. Setters just using that. They've overloaded the area 4 position here. They've got Smith, they've got Russell, both in rhythm. You've even got Magatatia kind of on that pushed Bick into the gap of 2 blockers, and they just are leaving Matt Anderson a one-on-one, right? Not just a one-on-one against a middle blocker playing defense, not the libero.
Especially where you froze it, Matt, you can see how neutral Micah was, right? He has all his options there, and so that holds the blockers for that split second longer to open up on the right side.
Right there is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good look. Lots of court to play with. That's going to be a kill most times. Good service example here. Micah kind of sets up into the seam, goes straight away at it. He's got a nice little kind of right to left tail, just slight right to left tail on his serve. You can see it just jumps away at the last second from the passer. Four-man serve receive on the jumper. And there's your pick. That's the beauty of being very tall right there for Italy. We'll rewind it just so you can see what happened here. All right, four-man serve receive, jumps on the middle, literally lands and puts his hands up. Guy's like 6'11". Woo! Take that serve all day, every day. Just misses, but wow. That was a rocket. Saeda in as a service sub. Played at UC Irvine. Was a beast. Okay, trouble play. Watch how they set it up. Nice set by Shoji. This is what I love right there. This is if Chad Gordon was on the call right now, this would be Chad Gordon. Just he would frame this play right here. This is a beautiful one. All right, we'll watch it again. Rewinds it back. We get total trouble play. Shoji super aggressive on the set, lands it on the tape. Magatatia just recycles it off the block. Super fast go, and just a gentle tip right into area one. Right, some super smart plays there. Right, great set by Shoji to get that ball back into a position where they're able to attack. Right, if you don't have an angle to drive the ball down, the block gets to pull off. Now you got 6 guys covering all 6 areas of the court. But once it gets back on the net, now that block has to respect that and stay up there, or else you can just power tip. Right, recycles it off, basically becomes a free ball, and they turn it into offense. Right, that's a great example of making something out of a whole lot of nothing. Net called on Italy. We'll watch this serve again from Magatatia. This is a good one. He's traditionally comes out of area 5 like he is now and goes cross court into the area 5 location. but he just cuts this one back quickly, pulls that ball, makes that passer pull that ball off the net, gets us a triple block. So nice situation there, just showing different looks, right? Challenging different parts of the court, not being a one-trick pony. Got the touch. Definitely can see kind of USA's serves really starting to cause some problems in this set for Italy in particular. Some of those balls they were ending runs with a missed serve like that one. They're pushing a little bit more points on, right? And that's where you get these 3 to 4 point leads against the top teams in the world. It is a serve and pass game, no matter what level you're playing at. A little bit of a hybrid. That's a great off the net run here for middle, right? Watch his footwork. Into the gap, into the seam. Overloads that zone. Matt Anderson bails out to go get the outside. Opens up a lot of space for that hit. Nice off the hand line swing. Trouble play, challenge the block, nice and high.
Wow.
We're going to go towards I'm just going to go to the last 4 points of the match. So USA is up 2-1 here. Scores 22-18 USA. Yeah, pushing for the triple block, IQ up. That's that play right there for outside hitters. A great example. One when we get the chance to get back in the gym that you can play around with is transition. I've got the setter on the net and he's pushed over into my zone. Can I just go super quick? So there's no middle blocker threat, right? And you just kind of have to feel what you've got with that right side blocker, right? He's reaching, that right side setter now is reaching because he knows he's been burned by that little soft tip by Magatatia here before in this exact scenario. And now it just opens up a huge seam and he just gets to swing away at it. So a fun one for you to play around with, working on how quick you can go, working on that connection with the setter. Yeah. Anderson pulled up short on him there, tried to get him in the hard angle swing. Match point. Got him. All right. Hop out of the share real quick. Throw your videos on if you got it. Especially if you have a costume on or an outfit. I'd love to see those. It's great. Halo even drew a little bit of, you have a whiteboard in your room there, Halo? It's nice. Very good. Well, since I've already called on you, Halo, what were your thoughts? Have you watching from set 1 to set 2? And obviously you can kind of safely assume that things continued on since they won that second set and won the match. What adjustments did you see right off the bat for USA on set 2?
They were keeping that kind of like Micah was just still mixing up the offense a lot. And I guess what really worked for them was the outsides running that like quicker tempo set and having a lot of variety in their swings that would like burn the blockers. So like Magatatia would like throw in like a recycle tip and throw in another tip, really confuse the defense. And then he'd also have like a couple hard angle shots that really like put Italy back on their feet.
Yeah.
And I think they had a better connection with their middles this time because the first set, the middles were getting just burnt on that block a lot.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. You can kind of see right off the bat. One of the ones I pointed out, right? Middles got 3 sets right in a row after having 1 kill in the first set. They got 3 right off the bat. And so that obviously that changes the dynamic for your offense. That changes the dynamic of the defense that's being set up against you. Right? Once that's kind of imprinted in the mind of the opponent, it stays there. So you always kind of have to feel like you need to respect the middle of the court. And then, of course, that opens up the BIC, and that opens up everything else. Very good. Josh Thompson, what did you see?
Well, like in the first set, like Italy had some really hard serves, so like their passing was good for USA, but the oppo, or I forget if it was the Sarah, the oppo kept on setting up with that block that was crushing that. They were just doing well with kind of tricking the middle a lot, and then making the oppo have to reach out, so leaving a lot of open swings.
Okay. Gotcha. Very good. Coach John, anything that you saw or questions that you wanted to ask the guys on the in between set 1 and set 2?
We touched on it a little bit earlier. I really like watching the setters and how they, regardless of where the pass is, so 10, 12, 13 feet off the net, they really make an effort to get around and square up that ball. It really opens up their offense and keeps kind of multiple options open. And we talk a lot about it, at setters, and I'm yelling at everybody like, get around the ball. But you can see kind of the fruits of the labor of working hard, working on that footwork at the highest level. Even on Italy's side, you can see the same thing with their setter, getting around that ball, keeping those options open. And more than a few times you saw they're squared up outside, but reverse flow, go back to, D ball or something like that. So you start holding blockers. It's just a lot of hard work, right? Getting around that ball. And it's kind of a mindset. I'm going to get around that ball, keep all my options open. Another thing I like from an offensive perspective, you get to see at this level as well, like how hard these middles have to work. Like they're max jumping every single ball. They're trying to keep that middle blocker for that split second longer. And what happens is now you can kind of, start doing some funky stuff, get that quick ball outside and quick ball back there. But that middle blocker, those guys, they're jumping up in the air and they're like hanging there waiting, and they're still kind of an option. But even if they're not going to get set, they're up there and they're an option for your setter.
Yeah, totally. There's just a lot of the unsung movements that you have to make at the highest level to perform. Yeah. Right. It's the off the ball transition, right? It's the liberos, the Eric Shoji, knowing that the setter's front row, knowing that the block scheme that they're in, their middle blocker's fronting. And once that middle goes on a 3, now there's a huge opening for the dump, filling that dump, making sure that they have that defended, and then reacting from there. It's the ability to kind of read and react and understand that there's a lot that needs to be done even when the ball is not in your hands. Yep. And so that's a big thing to see and watch. I think that's why it's cool to just watch your position and see the way that they're moving without the ball. And if you could just focus on that, that's a really good one for guys to see. How do you guys think they did in terms of controlling what they could control, right? They had some stuff that happened at the end of set 1 that they were mad about and kind of forced them to go down a spiral. How do you think they responded? Obviously they got the win, but how do you think they responded? Watching that first 15 points of set 2, what did it look like? Yeah, Neil, go ahead.
I kind of noticed like they just seemed to be like way more aggressive with the ball. Like they were kind of like willing to take the bigger swings. Like they were going for like hands on the block. Like I feel like they kind of got pissed off after set 1. They're like, all right, let's move forward. Let's use this instead of like getting down on it. They're like, no, like now we push forward. Now's when we like kick it into high gear. Now's when we figure it out.
Yeah.
Like more effort in it.
That was my exact sentiment. Was it looked like they were playing pissed off, which is something for sure. It's I wouldn't say that's what you have to do every single game, but they definitely had a chip on their shoulder, right? They lost that first one. They probably felt like they were in a position to win it, and then kind of let it get away from them there at the end after getting hosed on a call, which all of us have felt, right? The feeling of being hosed on a call, whether a line judge isn't paying attention or the up ref, just blows a call, or the down ref calls a phantom net. Those types of things happen, and how you respond and how you react really sets the tone and the standard. The other part, just mindset wise, that I think I could kind of see was knowing how USA plays and watching them, right? And you guys have now seen, this is 3 weeks in a row that we've watched a USA match. you kind of get a sense of the kind of team that they are, right? Defensively, they're always trying to triple block. Service-wise, they're always going after it. They're okay with errors, right? They make some misses. And then offensively, they're always trying to be in a position where they can take heavy aggressive swings. You know, that's very much watering down the mentality of our men's national team. But, you know, just to speak of it in layman's terms, that's kind of what it looks like. And in that first set, they were doing that stuff, but Italy was getting some touches, right? Some of those serves were just missing, you know, just fell out of bounds on the area 1 sideline, or just went long, or, you know, just didn't bounce the right way for them. And they got those out of system. They had digs and they had out of system swings that, you know, that got blocked, or that Italy was able to get a touch on, or, you know, whatever happened. And so I think that the thing to note mindset wise is, as they switched into set 2, I don't think that they tried to outplay with who they are, right? They didn't try and change the way they approach the game. They just kept sticking to what they do and what they've worked at, and until it worked, right? Then those serves started to connect, right? Those balls started to rip into the seams and were landing in and put a ton of pressure on Italy and got them off the net. And those out of system plays that they were in, instead of being blocked, they turned into soft blocks and recycles that they were able to get better swings on. And so just kind of staying steady to that process, right? The idea of what they've been preaching and we've seen and know that they kind of do. They were able to turn into pretty successful moments. So I think that was a cool thing to see. One, Micah get pissed off and his team kind of rally around it, and two, them to continue to just stay the course regardless of how, you know, choppy the seas were. I think that was good stuff. Coach John, anything else before we sign us off here?
Yeah, one quick thing I really noticed as well. Eric Soji, he saw Micah have to take a first ball, and Soji didn't do anything very spectacular with the ball. And we talk about it a lot of times, you know, 3-on-3 or 5-on-5, just a nice high ball off the net, inside, let us get a good swing. And so he's obviously very experienced, right? But we talk about it in the gym all the time. Just out of system play, liberos hand setting a ball, 5 feet off the net, you know, 5 feet in, go ahead and take a chop, right? Don't try to do anything spectacular. And you see somebody who's playing at the highest level, and he's doing exactly what everybody, you know, we all know that saying in the gym. So they can do it, we can do it too.
Yeah, that's great. Wonderful. All right. We'll keep going with it next week. And if you're doing Bay in Place, take your photo. Next week will be the final week of Bay in Place. So get yourselves ready. It's going to be double points each day. I'm gonna reconvene. If you got your video, throw it on. I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm gonna let Coach John select the winner here of who wins the extra points for best costume, and we'll go from there for today's points. But next week will be the last one. Team, I think 4-team premier. You guys are still in the lead, so keep up the great work.
Awesome.
And also, last plug of next week is the last discussion on grit. Coach John and I have been really enjoying it, putting together a little handout. Even if you haven't read, join us for the conversation. A lot of good stuff. So, Coach John, who's our winner? Calvin, Halo, or Neil, or who else we got? Is that Julian? Julian with the green man.
Julian. Let me see. Green, Calvin. Oh, man, I'm biased because my favorite color is this fluorescent neon green from the 80s. So it's Julian.
Julian.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Julian's the winner. Wonderful. Everyone else, he is stoked. Everyone else, see you later.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend.
Coach Matt,
You stay
would you like
here.
some Lucky Charms?
What?
Would you like some Lucky Charms?
What Lucky
Lucky
Charms?
Charms.
You want some?
That's
Cereal.
very nice. It's good looking Lucky Charms, Riley.
Sure. I can give you some. I'll go through the camera, I promise.
All right, let's see it. Bring them my way.
Oh, man. You got to clean that up now.
I don't know what to say to you. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.